Hello and welcome back to Fallout 76. Today, I am on the public test server to have a look at a plasma shotgun. Now, this is just a plasma rifle with a splitter barrel on it, but because of recent perk card changes, it's functionally a shotgun. So this is a regular plasma gun because I don't have the mods on the PTS to make an Enclave version of this. The effects we have are Furious with extra limb damage, faster reload speed. I didn't put a 4th star on it. I'm thinking Fractures might be kind of fun. That sounds like it's really entertaining, but we're just gonna go for 3 stars for now. And we of course have the Aligned splitter barrel on it. So the damage is actually a little better than what it shows in the Pip-Boy. There's an issue with the Number Cruncher card, which gives you bonus damage based on the AP cost. Right now in the Pip-Boy, it's actually only showing an increase in ballistic damage when you equip this card. But it actually does work for energy. I have tested it, and it actually does increase the energy damage as well. It just isn't shown in the Pip-Boy numbers. And with an AP cost of 31, that is a significant boost to damage. Now, one of the great things about this over a traditional shotgun is the range. So the range is 156, and that is because of this card, Love the Spread. This, if you fire 3 or more projectiles, your range goes up by 30%. So the normal range is 120, but because of this card, we're going up to 156, which is a lot more than a typical shotgun. If we look at this double barrel shotgun here, it has a range of 93, and that is with that perk card as well. So the normal range would be 72 for a shotgun. That's where they top out, is 72. We're getting about 70% more range than we would over a traditional shotgun. So I'm still trying to figure out all the perk cards. There have been so many changes with this update that, I'm still trying to figure out the best way to go, the best cards to have equipped. But we've got Shotgun Champ, which now gives you plus 10% damage to crippled targets. Per projectile, your weapon fires. Now, the way I'm reading that, this fires 6 projectiles, so that would be 60% more damage to a target that is crippled. And crippling is actually coming pretty easy at this point. And then we have Easy Target, 75% more range damage to crippled targets. We've already talked about Love the Spread. And then we have Scatter Shot. 20% of the damage dealt to a limb is applied to all limbs on your target. So if I'm shooting a head, for example, 20% of that damage that I'm doing to the head, I'm also doing to all of the other limbs. So it's pretty common to actually cripple multiple limbs on a target. So this perk actually seems like it's really strong. Number Cruncher, we've already mentioned that. Tormentor. You deal 20% more damage per crippled limb your target has. So the more crippled limbs a target has, the more damage you do. This is mostly useful against bigger things like a Mirelurk Queen, something like that. Against, smaller enemies, they tend to die, and they tend to die pretty quickly, and it doesn't matter. But against bigger targets, your damage with all of these perks can really scale up quickly. And then we have Enforcer. Your small guns gain a 15% stagger chance and a 75% limb damage bonus. So at this point, we are doing a lot of limb damage. Remember, we also have that on the gun as well. And then we have Gorilla Master. That's going to be extra bonus damage to close-up enemies. Although with this weapon, we tend to be not as close as a typical shotgun. We just don't need to be because we have just so much better range. But this also gives us extra 5 stacks to that to the onslaught count. This one, we have extra reload speed. We don't really need it, but we're doing it for the extra 3 stacks. Now this is extra ranged weak spot damage, which is good, and extra stacks. And then we have Gorilla, which just does extra bonus damage to close enemies. And we will do critical hits, so we have critical savvy and better criticals. So these are the mutations. The important ones, Egghead is actually important here. We want that extra intelligence because that affects how much bonus damage we get from the science perk. And Herd Mentality, the same thing. That's +2 to all our specials, so a little bit of extra intelligence as well. Eagle Eyes, that helps with VATS hit chance and extra critical damage. And as far as food, don't run a lot of food buffs on this character, but we do have Steeped Thistle Tea for the extra critical damage. Sweetwater Special Blend, a little more perception, help us with VATS, and Company Tea to get that AP regen. This does have a pretty high AP cost. I mean, we're doing that because we get more damage, but the trade-off is we go through our AP kind of quicker. We can go through, I think we can shoot about 15 shots or so before we run out of AP. All right, so here we go. No, we have no shot. We have no shot on there. There we go. It's a tough shot. Let's see. We've got that for extra. You can see the damage is. The damage is really good. Most regular enemies are going to be a 1-shot, maybe a 2-shot. That 30 ammo capacity. That's another thing to like about this over a regular shotgun. We've got a nice ammo capacity, and we've got a nice range. So versus the damage in the Pip-Boy. See, we crippled him. Do you see that? We hit him in the head. But because of the, I can't remember the name of the perk now, but because of that perk, the perk that I can't think of the name of, we ended up crippling his legs. because the damage, the limb damage was transferred from one limb to another. So that's pretty nice. I like that perk a lot. Usually most enemies go down and you don't, they usually die and you can't tell that. It's more evident on larger things. Mirelurk Queen, for example. But look at that, we crippled him. Like a headshot and wow, he recovered, sort of. he sort of recovered. So yeah, that is such a great perk. And you know, on crippled targets, not only does it stop the enemy from attacking, but we do more damage when we have perks that give us more damage when an enemy is crippled. So that's just yeah, all these perks work together really nicely. It's kind of a fun synergy. I like the direction they've gone with shotguns. It definitely makes them niche. Like it makes them stand out. Obviously, you can hit hard and kill stuff in one hit if you want to do that. But the crippling mechanic is, yeah, it's really good. Now, I put limb damage as the second star on this weapon, but I think I would like to have explosive. I think that would probably be the way I would go. However, there's something kind of wonky with explosive and energy guns right now, and the damage it's doing is just insane. I mean, it's way more than, it's so much. There's just no way that it's intended to be that much. At least I hope not. I mean, it's just, yeah, it's so much damage from when you have explosive on energy weapons. So that's why I went with the crippling instead of what I think is probably broken damage. I'm not positive on that, but if it comes to live, it's so, yeah, it's so much damage. Let's see. All right, there we go. We're doing okay. Doing okay. Taking a bit of damage here and there. Thruster for you. And yeah, I get my reload habit is terrible. I reload after one bullet, which is not good when you don't need to do that. Something is shooting me from somewhere. Yeah, this is where the range comes in handy. This just has so much more range than a regular shotgun, and it makes it a lot more, I would say, flexible in combat. Your enemy just doesn't have to be right on top of you for you to get the optimal damage. They can actually be back a bit. There's something somewhere shooting me. I'm just not. Is it that guy? All right. I thought there was something closer. There's something. Okay, there we go. There was something closer. I wasn't imagining it at all. But having that 30 ammo capacity, if you're not a chronic reloader like me, is actually a really good. When you get in a pinch, it's actually really beneficial. You don't have to worry about yeah, getting caught short. All right, here we go. Let's shoot some Snallies. Is he crippled? I can't tell. No, he doesn't seem to be crippled at all. I was kind of wondering about that. Because I think because we're shooting weak spots, you know, weak spot damage is multiplied. I'm assuming that multiplied damage factors in with that card that does the, you know, the 20% damage to other limbs. So we must have a priestess here. I'm kind of hoping the Mothman event goes away. Because I don't want to shoot priests. I want to shoot, I don't think. They happen to be pretty tanky, though. You can see that. Oh, there we go. Scattershot. I don't know why that's the name of the perk. I don't know why I can't think of Scattershot. But yeah, Scattershot is the one that deals extra damage to all of the other limbs when you're targeting a specific limb. And to me, I don't know. I'm kind of wondering, oh, I guess I don't need to throw that grenade. So she's already awake. So that's good. Because the reason I'm wondering if that actually magnifies, like if you are shooting a weak spot, because weak spots, you know, have multipliers and you do more damage. So I wonder if that means more damage to the other limbs, because the Scorch or the Mirelurk Queen seems to cripple really easily. She doesn't seem to want to, she doesn't want to play with me, I guess. So we'll go over here and, because usually I shoot her in the spouts, and look at that, one shot in the spouts and she's down. So it's got to be a multiplier there, where the multiplier from weak spot damage is also going with the Scattershot perk as well, because yeah, she's just down for the count, and then she's just down and out. So yeah, crippling on these, you know, the cripple mechanic, the reworked, I guess, limb damage. It's not really crippling anymore. You know, it's not chance to cripple, it's limb damage, but it seems to work really, really well at crippling things when you kind of go all in at it. You just stack all those limb damage multipliers. It just seems to, yeah, it can devastate those larger targets. And having a longer range should make it easier to hit a wing and get a Scorch Beast to land. In theory, unless it gets distracted by attacking something. Oh, there's a floating Mirelurk. Let's see, here's that, yeah. It doesn't, oh, wow. It's a yeeted Mirelurk now. Let's, nope, that's not what I want. Get it, there we go. That's a crippled limb, so that should be enough to get it to land. Meanwhile, we'll just go around and shoot the minions. You can see the damage is really nice. I mean, this works great for crippling, but the amount of damage it does is actually pretty nice as well. The downside is the high AP cost. So if you have to, I mean, we get the bonus damage from the extra AP cost, but if we have to shoot a lot of shots in a row, you can see my AP went all the way down to 0. And there you have it, a plasma shotgun. Because of the range and ammo capacity, it has a lot more flexibility than a typical shotgun. Plus we have the added bonus of goo piles and cool green projectiles. And this will probably be the first weapon I craft when this update hits in June. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please hit one of the buttons. And I hope you join me in the next one. Thank you very much.